So when I decided to start 3 to 1, I think the first thing I felt very strongly was that I didn't know enough and that I hadn't seen enough. And I felt for me to try and build something which will hopefully one day signify excellence in education, I just need to see a lot more. And that's why I decided to take 1 year off to just go and visit school leaders. One thing I learned very clearly was just having that big vision means nothing till you figure out how does it actually look on the ground. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? How does it show in people's behaviors, actions? Right? How are people living it? What does it look like on the ground? And that's something which really stayed with me, and I've sort of tried to sort of build that into our entire scheme of how we've set this up. 3 to 1 is our name, and it's also a vision. And each of the numbers mean something. So 3 is our philosophy of education. We fundamentally believe the purpose of education is the journey to understand self, others, and life. 2, which are 2 guiding phrases, which are going to guide us on these journeys. So the first is excellence is a habit, and second is grace under pressure. Those are going to be our key guiding phrases, the beacon phrases. And 1 is basically a fundamental question. It's a question that I've spoken about before. And in some ways we now look at it as a measure of success. We believe that we will be successful when we can create an organization where everyone, regardless of who, what, when, where, looks around and asks themselves, what will I do about it? Once we have the vision and the big blocks in there, the big rocks, we spend a lot of time trying to break it down into what it actually looks on the ground. What are the actions? What are the behaviors? If people are to symbolize or personify our vision, what are the things that should be coming out of their mouth? What are the things they should be talking about? Right? What are the big phrases, key sentences? What are the key discussions? What are the situations they should find themselves in? And we spend a lot of time breaking it down, crafting those things, and sort of getting it to a place where that big statement actually looks something on the ground. There's a Mike Tyson quote on planning. It's my favorite quote. He says, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. That's what happened to us. We went away with all these plans and ideas and everything, right? And the punches are flying. Idealistic plans and notions start getting tested in a very raw environment when the resources are not sufficient, when the challenges are much bigger, the number of problems you haven't anticipated, and you still refine to execute, but execute to that level or you dreamt of, right? And that's what symbolized the arena for us, right? When everything becomes raw and real, and the problems and the issues grow a lot bigger, but you're still supposed to try and pull off something like that. I think it's one thing that's really helped was our team meetings. And that got us to really express and understand each other, but that really helped us to learn from each other. We would see each other's videos, we would see what was working in which class and really adapt. And that very quickly pushed us to a place where we were fixing problems literally on a daily basis. And that really helped us increase the pace to a point where by 4th, 5th week, things started to stabilize. Basic things have fallen into place. There are a number of things that we need to fix, but there are a number of things which are also going well. And slowly, very like in small parts, but the reality is starting to look a little bit like the vision that we had. And some of those elements that we had envisioned, they're starting to take place. It's very early, but it's starting to look a little bit like what we'd imagined. When I look back at the last 7 weeks, the 1 month before that, the 1 year, the 2 years before that, I just think of the quote from the speech, the man in the arena from Lucifer. And it's something we discuss a lot in the team. We've spoken a lot about it, and it's something that means a lot to us. He basically speaks about that. He says the credit does not belong to the guy standing outside, who's pointing of how this could be done better, of how the person in the ring could have not done that, or could have done this better, or not fallen, or done this right. It actually belongs to the person in the ring, who despite all the problems is there. Face is bloodied, hands and legs are dusty, sweat pouring everywhere, but he's in there. He's in the arena and trying to do something. think we feel we're in the arena right now. Definitely bloody, dusty and sweaty. But we're trying to hang in there and we're trying to do something which hopefully we'll be proud of and which the children definitely deserve.